Today's episode is called, Kate's Day in Court. Kate goes to court to clear herself on a charge of jaywalking. Original air date, December 9, 1967.
Come ride the little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of curves, you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It is run by Kate. Come and be her guest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
And that's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow at the junction. Petticoat Junction.
What's new?
I am steaming.
About what, Mom? What happened?
Ralphie. No, you tell him. I'm much too mad to talk.
Well, we were just...
No, I'll tell him. This is what happened. A traffic ticket?
You don't even have a car.
It's for jaywalking.
No kidding. What were you doing?
Jaywalking?
I was not. All I did was cross the street from Peabody's ice cream parlor to Trindle's dry goods.
Well, everybody does that.
Yeah, we always go that way.
Mom did it against the light.
I did not.
I mean, that's what the officer put down on the ticket. Hey, wait a minute. Which one was it? The young one. You know, the one with the nice smile and the cute little dot on his chin. The mean, nasty-looking one.
Wait a minute. What light?
Oh, the Pixley Chamber of Commerce claimed they had so much traffic they had to put in a light. And it runs during the peak hours between 11 and 2 and 4 and 6.
Oh, that Pixley crowd. They just can't rest. You know, they've been jealous of Hooterville ever since we got that parking meter. Okay, give me the ticket. I'll take care of it.
Oh.
Due process law, bribe the sheriff.
Uncle Joe.
Relax, Kate. It'll be handled right. The sheriff and me belong to the same lodge.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Well, next month, us Campbells will have an installation. I happen to know the sheriff is bucking for a raise in rank. Right now, he's only a hump and a half camel. He wants to be a two-humper. It was just the right word for me.
Forget it.
Okay.
I am going to fight this fair and square. I've got justice on my side.
Well, all right, if you want to go that route. Just remember, it'll never replace a few pats on the back and some cigars.
What's your defense, Mom?
The truth. I know it was after 2. Therefore, the signal should not have been running. But, Mom, the officer put down time of violation 155. A cute smile and a cleft chin doesn't make it right. Sam? Oh, Sam?
Hey, just the one I wanted to see. Hey, wait till you get a load of today's Hooterville World Guardian.
Oh?
Yeah, here. Sit down. Sit down. Now, I'm going to be right back. Oh, here. Have an apple. No charge. This is one of the most exciting things that's happened to me since I've been in the publishing business. Here. What do you think of this?
What's that all about?
Well, it's about your jaywalking ticket, that bum rap they gave you in Pixley.
Oh, you heard about it?
Oh, it's all over the valley. That's why I had to get up early this morning and cancel my lead story about Grandma Tinsley winning second place in the Prune Cannon Festival.
That must really be big.
Here, let me read it to you. To the average citizen, a traffic ticket is a minor irritation. But to Kate Bradley, when she knows she's in the right, it's a personal challenge. It's the U.S. Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights. It's 54-40-year fight. Canoe and Tyler's.
You left out, I regret that I have but one life to give for my country.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe I can work that into the follow-up.
Sam, you're a character.
Just a journalist trying to report the news as I see it.
Well, I'm certainly glad that you see it my way.
Oh, I don't.
Because, you know, if you didn't... You what?
I don't see it your way.
But the paper, the big article.
Oh, that's just the official stand of the Hooterville World Guardian, upholding one of its subscribers against that Pixley crowd.
You, personally?
Personally, I say forget it. Pay the $2.
Hi, Floyd.
Oh, hi, Kate.
Floyd, did you hear what happened to me in Pixley?
Oh, sure.
And that I'm going to fight it?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, what do you think?
Kate, you got a good head on your shoulders.
Thank you, Floyd.
One thing about you, you always think every problem through.
Well, thank you, Floyd.
And you always come up with the right decision.
Thank you, Floyd.
How come you blew this one?
Hi, hon.
Hi.
That's the best part of working. Leaving in the morning and coming home at night. Hey, what's all this?
Wasn't it exciting?
Well, your mom's is serious about it, is she?
Of course she is. Why shouldn't she be?
Well, all this about a ticket for jaywalking. Well, why doesn't she just pay the fine?
Because she's got principles.
Well, yeah, but if she broke the law.
What makes you think she broke the law?
Well, the fact that the cop gave her a ticket is sort of a hint.
Oh, so you just naturally assume that he's right and my mother's wrong.
No, not necessarily, but, well, if she didn't break the law.
And she didn't.
If she didn't break the law, why else would he give her a ticket?
Well, because.
Because what?
Who knows?
Oh, boy. I'm going to go back out and come in again.
It's too late.
What do you mean it? Hi. I didn't know you were in there. Honey, why didn't you say something?
How was I to know you'd come out flat-footed against my mother?
All right, Steve. You were just confirming an opinion that's gradually becoming unanimous.
Not with me, it isn't.
No. I always have you, don't I? Well, I'm going to run along and leave you two lovebirds alone.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, darling.
Boy, that's the last time I give you a kiss till I find out where you stand.
And I ended up buying the flowered material. And that was at exactly $2.95. No, I didn't mean the price. I meant, do you remember the time? Young man. Young man.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you by any chance recall the exact time I was in here the other day? It's very important.
Were you in here?
I was with her.
Oh, yeah.
I had a chocolate sundae.
With 2 cherries. I put the extra one in myself.
I had a cup of coffee.
You did?
With 2 lumps of sugar. I put the extra one in myself. Oh, Bobby Joe, come on.
Yes, here it is. Your operator was Claudette.
That's right. And she'll remember me, because I was very pleased with her.
Yes, I know. And now we can't find her.
You can't find her?
You praised her so much, she demanded more money. We couldn't pay it, so she quit.
You mean she hasn't got a single witness?
There you want. Sam, she's going into that courtroom tomorrow completely defenseless. I feel awful about it.
Not too awful to feed your face.
I've got to think.
Yeah. Boy, this really gets to me. If I hadn't come out with all those headlines, Kate probably could ease out of this thing gracefully. Doggone me anyway.
Oh, now, Sam, don't make it hard for yourself. On the other hand, maybe you ought. You're the guy that slammed it over the whole valley.
Boy, you sure are a comfort when a guy's in trouble. Can't you think without eating?
I can't do anything without eating. Will you stop complaining? And figure out what to do about Kate.
Well, I think the best thing she could do would be to throw herself on the mercy of the court. Admit she was wrong and take the consequences.
Sam, you know Kate better than that. She ain't never going to admit she was wrong if she thinks she's right.
Oh, but suppose she wasn't right.
What did you say?
Only that what if Kate was wrong about the time and the officer was right? Now, that's barely possible, you know.
I'm paying you off for them cookies right now.
Darn it, Joe. Now, I'm not doubting Kate's honesty. I'm just saying maybe she got confused.
Well, that's better. I'll forgive you. Even if that signal was working after 2 o'clock, that signal was working after 2 o'clock.
But she hasn't got a witness.
I know. Hey, wait a minute. If that signal was in operation after 2 o'clock one day, it ought to be the next. And if I can prove it, I can save the day for Kate. And that's just what I'm going to do.
So long, Perry. Oh, boy, with him on her side, I hope she don't get the chair. Kate, we're all behind you, so don't worry.
Hear ye, hear ye. This court is now in session. You will please rise. You may be seated.
The People versus Kate Bradley.
Here, Your Honor. But I'm not against the people. It's just that dumb signal.
Mrs. Bradley, am I to assume that you are acting as your own counsel?
That's right.
Approach the bench, please. You are charged with violation of Section 10, Paragraph B of the Pixley Municipal Code. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Your Honor, guilty or not guilty sounds so serious for such a little thing. Can't I just say I didn't do it?
I'm afraid we're going to have to run things around here in our own way. The court assumes that you plead not guilty.
Yes, sir.
Very well, you may be seated. Does the prosecution wish to make an opening statement?
No statement, except, of course, that the defendant is guilty.
Well, that's so no statement.
Mrs. Bradley, confine yourself to conducting your case. Do you wish to make an opening statement?
Yes, I do. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Mrs. Bradley.
Yes?
This is a trial by court. There is no jury.
Then who decides whether I'm guilty or not guilty?
I do. I believe you were about to make an opening statement.
I only want to say that I can prove without a shadow of a doubt my complete innocence of this alleged violation. And I am confident that the court will be kind, just, humane, considerate, impartial, honest.
Mrs. Bradley, you may be confident that this court will base its decision strictly on the evidence.
Of course.
You may be seated. Prosecution may call the first witness.
Deputy John Edward.
You you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may be seated.
Deputy Edwards, you observed the defendant in the act of making an illegal crossing at the time and date in question. Is that correct?
It is.
In other words, your citation to the defendant stands as written. You make no retraction. Well?
None, sir.
That is all. Your witness.
Deputy Edwards, how many people would you estimate crossed at that signal in, say, a 5-minute period at the time of my alleged violation?
A dozen or so.
Uh-huh. And how come with all those people you picked me to give a ticket? Me, and me alone.
Because you were the only one crossing against the signal.
I don't want to talk to this witness anymore.
The witness may step down.
Things don't look too good for Kate. If you got anything up your sleeve besides the freckles, now's the time to trot it out.
Relax. I'll turn this court upside down when my surprise witness shows up with the evidence.
Mrs. Bradley, you may call your witnesses now.
Oh, I don't have any, Your Honor.
You don't have... Do you mean to tell me that you're contesting this case and you don't have any witnesses?
No. Oh, but I have a document stating my movements on the day in question, and it's legally signed, too.
By whom?
Me.
I object.
I was there. I'll find it in just a minute.
Mrs. Bradley, I'm afraid that any such document signed only by you wouldn't carry very much weight.
Oh, but you can at least look at it. I went to a lot of trouble to put everything down. Everything. I'll find it. Oh, do you mind?
Could this be it?
I don't know.
Well, it looks like some sort of code. K1P2.
Let's knit one pearl, too. I'm making a sweater for Uncle Joe. It's supposed to be a surprise. Here it is. Now, look. It shows where I went to the ice cream parlor and the dry goods store and the beauty shop. And you see, I even made a note that I met your wife in the beauty shop, and it was exactly 1:45.
Mrs. Bradley, this just doesn't prove a thing. I'm afraid that if you don't have any more evidence, that I will have to rule...
Hold it. Hold it. Your Honor, I've got a surprise witness coming in.
Who are you?
I'm a relative of the criminal here.
Thanks a lot.
Well, where is this surprise witness?
I don't know. I'm surprised he hadn't shown up yet.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to...
Hey, Joe! Here I am.
Joe! Joe! I got it!
What's this all about?
Relax and prepare to go free. Your Honor, this here is my surprise witness. Hold your hat. You're in the judge's court.
I know. That's why I wore my best one.
What is supposed to be the significance of this picture?
Your Honor, that picture shows the traffic signal in question.
Oh, yes, but I still don't see the significance of that.
Well, that's where my surprise witness comes in. What is your name, sir?
Wait a minute. Is this man an attorney?
Well, Counselor, in the interest of justice, suppose we just hear him out, huh?
Go on. What's your name?
So that's kind of a silly question. You know my name. We've been friends for at least 25 years.
Well, the court would like to know your name.
Oh. My name is Floyd Smoot, Court.
Your Honor, yesterday the aforementioned Mr. Smoot and myself returned to the scene of the crime.
I've got to get 20 years.
You will note this color photograph indicates that the signal is still in operation.
Yes, the signal does show the red stoplight is on.
Now, the whole question before the court is whether Mrs. Bradley, the criminal, was right when she said the signal was in operation after 2 o'clock.
Yes, that's correct.
And you'll note one other thing in the picture. Mr. Smoot is showing me his watch. What time was it by your watch when this picture was taken, Mr. Smoot?
Exactly 10 minutes after 2.
And what is your occupation, Mr. Smoot?
You know my occupation, Joe. I run the cannonball.
The court would like to know.
I run the cannonball, Court.
Everybody knows the accuracy of a railroad man's watch. Right on the minute. Right, Your Honor?
Well, yes, I'll have to agree to that. Down through the years, the accuracy of the railroad man's watch has been highly regarded.
And with this evidence, I hereby declare the defendant innocent.
Just one moment here. What's that in the background?
What? That's the courthouse.
And the clock on the courthouse tower, through this magnifying glass, shows the time to be 5 minutes before 2.
What's that?
No kidding. It said 5 minutes before 2. Well, I gotta set this thing back.
Boyd, knock it off.
Joe, that courthouse clock hadn't been wrong in 30 years. I always set my watch by it.
That's the case. If it pleases the court, you can throw it out.
Just a minute. I now see that you two are in the middle of the street. Why was that?
Well, Your Honor, when I had this fellow take our picture, I wanted him to include the signal.
Ah, yes, the signal. The signal that shows the stoplight red. That will be a $2 fine each for jaywalking. Now, if there are no more interruptions, I stand prepared to pass judgment on the case in hand. Mrs. Bradley, do you have anything further to say?
No, Your Honor, except that Uncle Joe and Floyd were just trying to help. They meant well.
I'm sure they did.
And I'm sorry I don't have any more evidence, but I thought it would help if I outlined every place I went and what I did on the day in question. But I realize it's just on my say-so. But I did have your wife to back me up that we were talking at 1:45. You can ask her.
Well, I'm afraid that wouldn't do much good. You see, the time in question is 2, not 1:45.
Well, we talked a little bit beyond that. You see, she asked me how my family was, and I said, fine. And then I asked her how her grandchildren were, and she told me.
Yeah, wait a minute. My wife told you about our grandchildren?
That's right.
Starting at 1:45?
Yes, sir.
I find the defendant not guilty. Not guilty! That's what I said. No living person has ever heard my wife take less than a half hour when bragging about our grandchildren. Why, she can do 20 minutes alone on little Leroy's freckle. Mrs. Bradley, you had to miss that signal by at least 15 minutes. Case dismissed.
Thank you, Judge. But I must say I do agree with your wife. Oh, that little Leroy is a darling fella.
Oh, isn't he, with those freckles on that little nose and that smile? You know, I might just happen to have a picture.
Oh, I'd like to see
it. That's the little Leroy. And me fishing up at Crystal Lake.
Petticoat Junction.